All right. You know who it is? It's the guy with two threes, not three threes. And today, we're back with, I won't even call it a Showdown Live. Of course, it is the new Scarlet and Violet OU user stats for June. This is going to be the user stats. We're going to be including the additional drops from the OU tier and the rises to the OU tier. And we're just going to go over Pokemon that have really been excelling in the new metagame. Well, it's not really a new metagame. A few mons have been added into the new metagame, such as the mons have been that have rose to the OU tier. So first, we're going to talk about the rises and drops, of course. Only talking about OU specifically. Maybe even certain mons that have dropped down from OU tier to like other tiers, so like OU to NU or some shit. So we might even talk about those mons too. But first, let's get into this. So as we can see, we'll talk about the rises first, so we can talk about that. And Cerulege, Deoxys Speed, Scizor, and Wheezing have all gone up. Let's pull them up on Showdown right now so that you guys can see it. You know, just believe it and see it. I remember when Deoxys dropped from the Ubers tier originally, everyone thought it would be broken. But now it's back in the OU tier after falling down into UU tier. I don't think it was broken in EU. I think it's just because Deoxys is actually a good mon in OU, so that's why it's been rising. In the EU tier, it seems like it's fine. Maybe not, who knows. You could use special defensive as control to try to maybe check it, but that's a hard wall. And you also have Torn. Torn is a huge problem for Deoxys T in general, right? Deoxys T, Deoxys Speed. Usually when you run is offensive, there's now actually more of the times most people are running Stealth Rock settering sets, but you can run offensive threat because this mon is hella scary. You have Psycho Boost with Stab, Life Orb, typically one-shotting Overpawn. So that is a huge threat that it needs to be gone, especially facing against offense. Offense has a really bad time against, not really, but depending on your team structures, usually they could have a horrible matchup against Ogerpon. So with the Deoxys Speed, it helps you neutralize that threat kind of early if the opponent stays in. So it's like a good way of saying that shit. So we can go on to the next one, Scizor. Scizor has been rising ever since the Moon meta, and also because it just really does have a good matchup into Hyper Offense. As you can see, let me pull up Hyper Offense team structures. Let's see. Do I have anything that I can look at that goes crazy? Like if you look at this team, look how weak this is to Scizor. I have a Garg here, I have a Polt, and I have a Kyurem. And Great Tusk doesn't like taking those bullet punches, choice banded. It does about 40%, and you know, as a Scizor player, you can always U-turn out, you know. So it's like it's never really the perfect idea of what's going to happen with the Scizor. They could stay in, they could bullet punch, they could even, I've seen SD sets. SD sets are actually really threatening in my opinion. I've actually lost a lot of SD sets as I bring in Tusk on like to take in the Rocky Helmet chip, but they set up a Sword Dance, and then Tusk gets two-shot. You can't even like one-shot it back. You could go for a Headlong Rush, but then that opens up your opponent's team. It opens you up to any other physical attack to your opponent's team, and Scizor is just a great mon in that sense too. Also, it destroys Hatterene. Like it's more a check to HO, as I said. So as we see, like look at this team. Like this team loses to Scizor immediately without Cinderace. Cinderace is the best for it. I have a lot of HO teams. Let me just pull up one that actually like I usually use. This one. Okay, well, Moltres is a soft check, but like other than that, it's like very hard to switch and install. Let me find an actual one. Where's that Kyurem team I used to run? Kyurem. Shit, one sec. Sorry, guys. I'm hoping the music isn't too loud. I might have to put that down. I hope it isn't now. I hope it's fine. Sorry about that if it is. I might have to repeat myself after, but we'll see. Kyurem. I have a lot of Kyurem teams. Give me a second. Let me just go through them. Here, this team. Oh shit, not this team. This team. So this used to be my Roaring Moon, thick ass Moon team that I used when Roaring Moon was in the tier. I actually replaced it with Kyurem, and as you can see, the team is really weak to Scizor. Okidoki takes probably like. Actually, Okidoki can switch in proper. We have Lando. We have a lot of things to chip it down, but it's not really a perfect switch in. So, in typical fashion, Scizor has actually risen up, and it has a good matchup against D-Knight too. Can two-shot D-Knight with the bullet punch because the D-Knight usually has to set up once to be able to threaten Scizor. So overall, it's a good mon, and I don't think Scizor's been OU like since Gen 7, and that's with the Mega, right? Mega shouldn't even count, to be fair. Like Scizor's been UU OU for a minute. Like the OU last time Scizor's base form probably was in OU was probably Gen 5. Like if I'm wrong, I think I'm right. So it's pretty sick to see that a non-Mega Scizor is in OU, right? So it's pretty cool in that sense. And let's get into the next one, which is Wheezing. You know me, I'm that guy, so I was using Wheezing from time before. Let me pull up the video of me actually using Wheezing. I don't know if you guys have been sub for me for some time. Just ignore this. This shit's my personal YouTube account. You guys ain't seen my real name, my goofy name. Let's pull up. I think it's this one. So you know me, I've been using Wheezing. I've been using Wheezing for some time. And let's see, where's that team at? Where's that video? It was a video I uploaded a long time ago, when I had like 80 subs and shit. This team essentially, this is when Kyurem was banned for that week, and I built a team around Latios, and Wheezing was the perfect way to beat Gliscor. And the reason why I used Wheezing was actually because it beat Gliscor. I'm gonna pull up a video of exactly what I'm talking about so you guys understand. So this is a video from Zovafire, so check them out on Twitter. Basically it's in the agency forums, but if you want to check them out, it's a good video. So see, toxic damage does around 6% every turn. So essentially with Wheezing's neutralizing gas, it actually neutralizes that poison heal effect, right? So they will take 6% each turn plus the stack of the badly poison effect, right? So if your Pokemon is usually toxic, they usually get more damage over time. So I didn't realize this happened to me in a game before too. So usually what happens is if you're the Wheezing player, you can let if the Gliscor stays in for so much time. So say if it goes like 20 turns, or not 20 turns, like 5 turns of Gliscor staying in, you bring in Wheezing hard. Let's just watch this, okay? Watch this beauty. Wheezing comes in and the Gliscor has been staying for a minute. So it says in 17 turns you can reach to 93% damage, right? Look at this, okay? Look how much shit this does. Beautiful. And I didn't use it to this maximum capability. In my video, we can watch it. Let me mute this shit a bit. Oh, fuck me. Why do I have ads for this? Let me just mute this. Let me instantly mute it. Okay, yeah. Where is it? I think it was here. But yeah, the reason why I used to run Wheezing wasn't just because of Gliscor though. It was actually a good check in the overall tier. Let me just find that one interaction just to show you who was on this shit before. This is I think November, so just letting you know I've been knowing it. So I go hard Wheezing here. Let me just put the volume down for this. And look, like I get the chip off and Gliscor's at 40%, you know. So overall, a good interaction for me, right? And it's not even just the fact that it beats Gliscor hard. It has a good amount of defensive utilities it covers, right? It's a nice check to Ogerpon. Not check, but it's a nice counter. Like, I guess it is a check, right? Or a bandage to Ogerpon. It helps with Ogerpon. I used to run it specifically for Zamazenta because Zamazenta was, prior to Petron's being released and being it just became the Zamazenta tier. And Wheezing was probably not even the word, literally is the perfect check to Zamazenta. Cannot get past one Zamazenta can never get past you. And Wheezing just walls you. Like, it's crazy. This mon the stats are very underwhelming, except for his defense. If it had more HP, it would be a great mon. Like, or not, it is a great mon, it's OU technically now, but it would be even better, right? So it has great opportunity cost for that because it adds a lot. It adds a lot to this tier. Like, look at this tier right now. Can we see it right now? There's a lot. Look, so it can beat a lot of these mons. It easily also can burn Clef with this neutralizing gas, burn Garg, like all these mons that are neutralized. Even Gold can get status from all these moves, right? So it's like, in that sense, it's amazing. Can beat Gliscor, can beat Great Tusk with Terra. Hatterene beats you, of course. We're not even going to talk about any special attackers. Can neutralize King Gambit, which is really nice in this tier. Actually walls most Iron Valiants. That's a great thing about Wheezing's, because Wheezing's typing is naturally just usually walls Iron Valiant because they typically carry Shadow Ball, but Shadow Ball ain't doing much to Wheezing, and it's a nice way of killing an Iron Valiant too. So if you're fighting an Iron Valiant and you have a Wheezing, just go Wheezing. It should deal with it either way. It can actually neutralize Ogerpon. Ogerpon is probably the biggest threat in this tier right now, so having another Ogerpon switch in is amazing. Let's see. Also beats Weavile and Samurott and Zamazenta. So overall, defensive utility was amazing. Plus, you have it beating Gliscor, so it had to rise eventually, right? I've been saying from time this mon is good. You just need to pair it up with a great team, and this thing can go crazy, right? And Ceruledge, I hate this mon so much. I used to love it back in the day when it was honest and it wasn't using Focus Sash weak armor. I used to run. I ain't gonna say I used to be honest with it too. I used to run the Flash Fire Fest set with I think it was, I don't know if it was in the sun I used to run. I ran out of webs one time because I was bored and I actually did decent. So, you know, overall I love this mon. The design is so fucking cool. Has one of the best moves, fire stabs in the game. Recovers 50% of the damage dealt. Plus its fire stab physical is really rare. One of the best, I think, physical type attacking moves. Plus you have the stats are amazing. The problem is the speed, but when you have weak armor and Focus Sash, you can cheat your way through out of games, right? That one team, there's a lot of teams that been running Ceruledges of a way to be a ghost, a spin blocker, right? So let me search up a sample team. I think everyone's seen it. Let me just pull it up though. Let me see the sheet. Where's the Ceruledge team? There was a Ceruledge one. I know there was one. I ain't gonna lie, let me figure out though. Ceruledge. Where the fuck? Yeah, here. This is by who? This is by CTC. Bro, he makes every team incredibly anti-offense sweeper. So as you can see in this, he says that I found Ceruledge to be an incredible anti-offense sweeper, being able to muscle many of the common threats to be cores from Zama Woger to Moon Val. This is when I'm pretty sure when Roaring Moon was able to be in the tier. And overall on Sun, it's a great thing to have also because you have the fire boost giving you that bitter blade boost amazingly, giving you also a great amount of HP at the same time. So it's a good mon. We knew this before. It's OU now, it's confirmed OU, so it's amazing to see. Now, what else can we talk about? Let me pull back to my Twitter and see what else is saying. Oh, not this. What am I saying here? Okay. So we talked about the drops. We talked about the rises. Now let's talk about the drops. So Tinkaton has dropped down to the EU tier. Personally, I don't know what the reason why. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really think this mon should have been OU. If you guys heard my last video about the rises and drops, I believe that Tinkaton was very, like, it's very not situational. It has the utility is amazing, but like other than that, what does it provide for you? It's kind of a do nothing spread hazard bomb, you know, or even spread poison, all this shit. Not poison, T-Wave, electric, encore. It doesn't really do much, and I guess that's the reason it fell. Plus the base stats aren't that nice, so you're forced to run max speeds because you need to be faster than Tusk and Orlando. So when you're forced to run all this speed, you're not really invested into the defenses. Of course, it has the best typing in the game, but it's just not enough to keep up with OU tier in general, right? We can talk about the UU drops. I mean, not UU drops. We can talk about these ones too, because I feel like these guys have been playable in OU. Like, we have Blissey and Stall. That means, I guess Stall isn't that good this gen, so that means that Blissey is just falling off in general. Ivy Cudgel, Ogerpon, Grass. I love this mon. We all know this mon. I have a lot of great teams with this mon. One of my favorite teams from Gen 9 OLT Summer Era was the team I used with this Ogerpon. And it was using that Ogerpon set. It wasn't the typical Ogerpons that you'd be seeing. It was a grass banded one. Let me figure it out. Banded Pond. See, okay, let's pull it up right now. It should be here somewhere. Not this one. This is the exact team I used. I used this team to be, I think 1915 in OLT. So it was like top 30 for the OLT rankings, but overall I threw that ranking and I didn't qualify, so it's still a strong team, don't get me wrong, but it's just, I think it's phased out in this meta because everything back then was so offensive. We had so many mons that were running over mons. We had Roaring Moon, we had Gouge at the tier. Like, it was just a very scary tier at the time. And with all that offense, I felt like Ogerpon was actually a great way of, you know, being anti-offense, you know, because typically with offense you have Lando, and Lando was being run all over the place at that time. So you would lead with Ogerpon against Lando, you know, you get the boost. You could even Terra and one-shot the Lando. And then after that, you have a Terra your Ogerpon, but you still have such a great team that supports Ogerpon. You have Samu with hazard stacking capabilities. Iron Treads there for, you know, the spin, and you also can Terra Ghost to get rid of, to make sure that they don't spin block. And you have a Kiram with this is that stall break concept. Overall, Never Melting Ice, I don't really like it anymore because it's so inconsistent, but it's still a good mon, don't get me wrong. Iron Moth was this is when people forgot about Dazzling Gleam Iron Moth. Everybody was running Roaring Moon and Gouge and all this shit, so I started running Terra Fairy, Dazzling Gleam, because everybody forgot about that set. Everybody was running T-Blast, right, for heat trends and shit, but I was like, fuck it, we're going all in. We already have good heat trend checks such as Samu, and we also have EP on this guy, so we're fine. And you know, this is fine. This team was really good overall, one of my best teams I've made. The problem is now we have Petrunt in the tier. We have a lot of checks like Wheezing. Like, it's just Ogerpon is has a bit of a like issues with, especially, and this team specifically has a problem with hazards. So if you can make a team like this, similar core, but find a way to limit the weaknesses of Ogerpon, or even your teams by getting rid of hazards, you can find a way to make Ogerpon work in the OU tier. Overall, it's still good. If you Terra with Pult, you immediately just have the speed tier up, right? I used to just do that a lot of times. So my first turn in the game, I would lead Ogerpon as they lead off with Pult. I would just Terra and knock off, and I would just kill the Pult instantly, right? Also, this does too much to Tinglu. Tinglu ain't taking shit. I mean, ain't living this easily. And I'm pretty sure with Terra, this does like 50% to Golden Gold, like standard Golden Gold, which is insane to say. But overall, I'm sad that it's dropped into the RU. I think it got banned, like quick banned, like instantly. So overall, I love this mon. One of my favorite mons of the tier, of the generation in general. This is the Grass Ogerpon. I love the Grass Ogerpon. We can talk about Serp next. Serp, I told you, man, he's a fraud. He's a fraud. After that video I used of him, I just realized that he's just not shit, bro. But if you're gonna use Serp, you can use. I've seen some Scarfs being run on the tier. It's very situational for it to be too good. Maybe you have to run Grassy Terrain for that to work. There's been the defensive set I tried to run. I think that team was just bad. Maybe you can run a perfect version of that Serp. I think maybe you would have to use like Iron Moth plus Serp just to put on the special attacking offense. Force your... Sorry, I just burped. Force the Tinglus to be chipped, and then you can go into your Serp and then just basically win. Being in RU is insane though. Like, I guess that's the low kicks effects, right? Like, all these two suffer from low kicks so badly. It makes sense in that sense, right? So now let's talk about the actual what am I saying? Why is it not letting me close this bitch? What the hell? Okay. Why? Okay. Also, blunder. Well, yeah, I forgot. Yo, these mods have been OU from time too. Like, this wasn't OU this generation. This was OU too. Like, these mods have been OU at certain points. So this just shows you how fast, and not fast, and how quick the metagame has changed. Of course, with bans, we had this Pokemon fall down all the way to the PU tier, which is crazy with the Spore ban. Honestly deserved. You kind of deserved that. But I think we need this as an Ogerpon check. One of the best Ogerpon checks in the game. I don't know if Ogerpon gets Zen Headbutt, but like, why would you run Zen Headbutt on Ogerpon, right? Raccoonid. Basket Legion, the range is shit because of Ogerpon. We don't really need to get into that much detail about that, but let's actually get into the usage stats, right? The usage stats shouldn't be too surprising. Let's see. Here. Man, hurry the fuck up. Why isn't it letting me click on this shit, man? Oh, what just happened? What the fuck happened? What? Nah, what? Yo, this shit just closed. Yo, that's insane, man. I don't know what just happened. I probably just got hacked by some Russian hackers. They don't want to see you guys win with the agency usage stats, you know? I know what I'm saying, bro. Let's just try to get this figure out. Let's just get into it. Is it loading? Yeah, oh yeah, see? Only a couple hours after dropping to SVRU, Ogerpon is no longer allowed in the tier, bro. Choice Bandit, that's all you need to run. Choice Bandit Ogerpon is so fucking good. Can I be able to load this without crashing my PC? I haven't been using this shit at all. I don't know why it started to crash. Okay, so we got the usage stats right here for June. As we can see, Great Tusk at 32.95. I'm pretty sure it went down by like probably 8%. I'm hoping Dozo goes all the way to UU because I hate that fucking mon. Dozo needs to fucking go all the way down to UU because I hate that mon. I fucking hate that mon. That mon just sits around, does nothing, just being unaware, and then how is it fair that this mon can set up on you with unaware? Like, bro, it doesn't make sense. It's fucking bullshit. Enough of that ranting of Dozo. We have the Holy Trinity right here. These three are probably the pyramids of, I guess, OU. Both of them, all three of these mons can beat each other, right? Great Tusk beats King Gambit, but also they can be. It's like a Uno reverse sometimes with Terra. It's like a what was it called? I had a term before. It was like the great food chain, but like these three, right? So it would always have these two as the top three usually, and then we would have Great Tusk, King Gambit, and Golden Go. Great Tusk naturally beats King Gambit. Gold actually can beat Tusk with the Spec Scarf. King Gambit beats Gold, and Great Tusk beats it. So it's like a weird food chain. It's really funny. Maybe I can explain this better with paint at the same time. Let me pull it up right now. Yeah, okay, let's see. This is gonna work. Yeah, I don't know why my laptop's hella laggy. I haven't even been using it for a minute. Also, why is... Okay, it's fine. But yeah, you know, like, overall, nothing really changed too much with the... I think maybe Ogerpon went up by a lot. I think Ogerpon definitely went up. Maybe we can look at it from Smogon University's actual thing. Count. Also, why is it called Smog University? Shouldn't it be called something else? Like, what's the university part supposed to mean? I'm just hating. Let's figure out. So, let's look back at the last... not info. What's it called, bro? I don't know. This is May. It has to be March. So, wow, they post a lot. Here. It's okay. So Ogerpon before was 20%. I should have duplicated it before. Oh my god, what's taking it so long to load up? This is ridiculous. I haven't even used this. Oh, it's because I'm not charging my shit at the same time. Okay, one sec. Let me charge my laptop. I think that's the reason why. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. I think it should be fine now. No more crashing and shit. So let's see. What was I saying about? Not this. This one. So yeah, look. So this is from the March one, which was 3 months ago. This is the previous one. And Ogerpon has actually went up by 5%. Damn. Honestly, Preserve, this mon is probably one of the best mons, one of the best breakers in the tier. People want it banned. I don't know if it should be banned. I love this mon. Actually, I don't think it should be. We have a lot of checks of it now. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up right now. Right, you just gotta be creative, bro. If you have a team that has offense and you complain about Ogerpon being broken, that is your fault for making such a shit team. I don't care. Iraq actually does beat you too with leech life and shit. So there's very creative ways of beating Ogerpon. Very creative ways. Let me find them for you. Dragonite also does beat Ogerpon, the bulky set. Any set actually does beat Ogerpon. The only problem is if you have Ogerpon set up, these mons can't really beat you 1v1. Petron can most times, like 95% of the time it can beat you, but it has to sometimes rely on malignant poisons. If it doesn't, then it becomes a problem, but you can, you know, figure a way from then. What else we have? What else do we have? We have Hydrapple. Hydrapple is the best Ogerpon check in the game. If it's not running play rough, then you'll be fine. Dragapult is a soft check, as you can switch in one time. And Zap, it also does switch in on Ogerpon a few times. So this is probably the best defensive Ogerpon switch-ins in the tier. I don't think it should be banned. People want it banned. I don't think it deserves to be banned. I think it's nice to have a Pokemon that can just shatter your teams together, you know? Because, like, if we get rid of Ogerpon, right, what's going to happen in this tier is all these defensive shitters like Tinglu, Zapdos, Garg, Pecharunt, and all these Alomola spams. Alomola's going to go to the moon, bro. Who the fuck wants Alomola be in the meta like that? It's not going to be fun, and Discord's going to become broken. This is not fun. I feel like having a mon that keeps the tier from being too bulky is the perfect way. And at the end of the day, I like Gen 9's identity. I love how it's offensive, and not like that boring shit like Gen 8, you know, where it's just like boot spam everything. Like this tier has been, it's unique in this way because it has Terra and it has it's a very offensive meta, and you have to be really good in that sense of understanding how to play the gen. So nothing too much to surprise. We went up by 6%, which is crazy. We can talk about that. Zama went up by 3. Zama was top 4. I didn't even realize. Dragonite went up as well. Dragonite before actually went down. Interesting. I thought it went up. Whatever. Dragonite's still fucking top 6. Dragonite's probably the best Pokemon in the tier in my opinion. It's too versatile, so good. Best mon. I might be deserved to be banned, but I fucking love it. I ain't gonna lie. I love how Dragonite has been so good in Gen 9 because I'm a Dragonite stan. I love it so much. Iron Valiant in top 7 before. Where was it at? What the fuck is Iron Valiant in March? Oh, it's literally the same position. It went down and went on. Kyurem rose a lot. I feel like I haven't been seeing Kyurem that much though, to be fair. Yeah, it went up by a lot. So before it was probably like maybe 14-15%, or maybe even 10, but now it's 16. Interesting. I don't think I've seen it that much. Tinglu's always been top 10. Dragapult is actually back. I'm surprised. Dragapult being top 10. It's always been that mon. It's amazing, right? One of the best dragons in the tier. You have D-Darts, you have the Hex set, you know, you have Specs, you have Banded. I faced a sub DD one that destroyed my Garganacl. Garganacl's probably the best counter to fucking to Dragapult, and I still lost with it. I ain't even Terra Fairy'd with it. That's how you know it's fucking, like, it's so versatile, you know, so it's just one of those mons that's amazing. I don't think we need to go into every mon's detail, like Lando dropping down to 11. Actually, it's the same position. Crazy. People said this mon fell off. We knew it ain't fall off. Slowking, one of the best defensive pivots. We have Hatterene being in the tier is amazing. Raging Bolt being at 14. What was it at in March? It was actually 15th. So it's the same position. Darkrai rising to 15th. I'm surprised Darkrai was 21st before. Darkrai is so good. Cinderace being 16? That's insane. That's really good. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think Cinderace was used that like that. Gliscor has more usage. I mean, less usage. That has to be fake. Iron Treads rising to 18. Pecharunt at 19. What was Pecharunt before? Same position. Okay. Let me go back. What am I doing? And then we have Corv at 20. Like, I don't really think we need to go over these mons too much. Iron Moth at 21. Did it go down? Did it go down? It did. Yo, I'm telling you, Iron Moth is a washed mon. It might even drop to UU. Who knows? I hate this mon. Like, facing it, it feels like it's a tank. It's like it just kills everything. But when you use it, it's so ass. Like, it's horrible. It gets walled by Garg. Gets walled by Heatrank, Tinglu. Like, if you don't get a boost, it becomes horrible. And most of the times, they don't give you a boost. So it is what it is. Aloe, fuck Aloe. I hate that mon. Avi's really good. You just gotta be careful about Ogerpon. Moltres, I've been running special defensive Moltres too, but to use that you need to pair it with the Garg or some dark type resist, or even Garg is probably the perfect mon to pair with it because it switches in on Shadow Balls. The dark type, you can add a dark type there to make it more defensively sound as well. Zapdos, Gamora, Clefable. Any drops from that area? Gamora went up, which is sad. Zapdos went up, and yeah, It's fine. I think we don't need to really talk about too much. Iron Crown revived itself. Iron Crown was on the brink of falling off, and it went all the way up. Where's Wake at, though? Where's Wake at? What, did Wake fall to you? Nah, this is just June, bro, so it's not. Yeah, so this doesn't show that it's. But it's, why is Wake not here, but Cerulege is higher? Interesting. Deoxys at 32. As I said, don't really need to talk too much about it. Primarina's been falling off, I'm not gonna lie. I hope it doesn't fall off. It's still a good mon, but it's so situational sometimes, because sometimes I use Primarina and I'm like, I prefer to have an Ogerpon here, or a Slowking, depending on the matchup. Like, say if I want to break with Primarina, or use the Calm Mindset, sometimes I actually prefer to have Ogerpon, because Ogerpon actually does breaks typically better than Primarina. But it's still a good mon, of course. I think it will be OU for a while. I hope it doesn't fall off. It'll come back if it will. It's too good. Wheezing 34 rack, and Dozo at the bottom of the tier. I hope Dozo falls off. I hate that mon. Fuck Stall. But yeah, I don't think we need to go into too much detail about the sets. At this point, I think everyone's familiar about what mon does each role. I've used AV treads before. A lot of AV wants to be used, and I feel like everybody who plays this game or even watches this video should understand what the roles of each mon performs. So like Cerulege can be a a spin blocker, also sweeps, so it's such a weird role, but it's so good in that sense, right? But other than that, man, I think I'm done. I don't know if I even talked about why I haven't posted in like a few days, but essentially I went on a vacation on a Kali trip with my boys, so it was fun. I had to enjoy that shit. But at the end of the day, I also did play some Pokemon on my phone, because it was kind of fun. I had to, I'm addicted to this game. It's so much fun, but at the end of the day, I had to have some real life events with my friends and shit, because you can't live an NPC lifestyle. You gotta have fun sometimes. So yeah, okay, I think that's it. I might post another video some other day. I gotta figure out, because the team structure, making teams is so hard sometimes. I might use this team. I stole this from Chen QT, not Cutie. I might have to use it. I don't really care. Hydrapple is really good. I love Hydrapple, so if you guys want to see a Hydrapple video, let me know in the comments below. And if you're new to the channel, hit the sub, hit this follow, say why you followed me, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, educational, and see you guys next time. Peace.